So, by August 2014, I had been making calendars for 5 years. And so, it was pretty cool to be starting in on my 6th year of calendars. And so, this probably wasn't dedicated towards that, but, my August 2014 theme was The Hunger Games 2, Catching Fire. Now, this movie came out in theaters the year before in November, a year and a half after the first Hunger Games, which also, if you want to check it out, is this calendar. So yeah, I did this calendar, and so when this movie first came out, it sort of got, it was said to be super violent and stuff. I don't know if it was super violent, but like, there's one scene that was super violent. There was one scene that had to totally be skipped. So my mom didn't want me seeing this movie until she saw it, and so she could censor it, and that was a good thing. And so she did see it, and she told us where we had to skip and everything, and so we enjoyed the movie. And so this movie is about Katniss going back to the Hunger Games. And yeah, because President Snow is just this mean dude. And so yeah, we watched this movie when it came to DVD. It was pretty interesting, and yeah, there's a lot of more visual effects in this one than there was in the first one. They got to go to a jungle arena and everything, and it also had a somewhat emotional story. So yeah, the color scheme. Okay, so you may wonder why I chose the color scheme I did. Well, basically, it wasn't like this one, but like, in this one, the background was black, of course, because, that was the color of the book cover. So this one, I chose the red, because if you look at the Catching Fire book, you'll also see that the background on that is red. And, so that was what helped me choose that background color. And there's a little bit of red in this picture here and the posters and everything. It sort of was a more fitting response than whatever. But yeah, it was sort of a better, it was a good color choice. And then here in the text box, you'll probably wonder why I did like the colors I did. Black to white to gray. And it was pretty cool, I thought, and the inspiration for it was, if you look at the costumes of a lot of the characters in the Hunger Games, it sort of mirrors their outfit colors, and so, the Hunger Games costumes, yeah. So I thought that was cool, because there's, more of a silverish color to it, even though it's 3 different colors, white, black, and gray, which is what I did. And, yeah, it just felt to be the kind of idea that I wanted to capture in that text box, and I think it did well. And that one was actually complicated to do because, picture border, no, not that. So, this was complicated to do because, I had to create 3 different points for the colors to go. I wanted only a little bit, I wanted the corners to be black, and then it faded to white, and then it did turn to gray, slowly. And so, yeah, I had to find places for that. This is approximately at position 74%. And so, yeah, I thought that worked, and it worked well, I think. So yeah, about the Hunger Games movie, my mom went to see it. She would not see the first movie, just because the first movie was, about kids. This one being about grown-ups, she was willing to see, because she did not want to see kids competing in the Hunger Games. It just wasn't her style. But since these were grown-ups, she was more okay with it, and she had to see it before we watched it. There is one brutal whipping scene, I hear. I haven't seen that scene. But yeah. So, and then there's this one elevator scene. So, after the chariot scene, which is here, when they go into the elevator with Joanna, just quickly close your eyes if you want to take the recommendation. And I haven't seen that scene, but I hear it's not the best scene in the world. So yeah, Katniss is competing in the Hunger Games again. Yeah, she has to go also on the district tour to say how great she is for winning the Hunger Games, and that's something the Capitol makes her do. Yeah, so this one, like the last one, followed pretty closely to the book, except when they go to the arena, the sky color is not a purple color like you may be familiar with. And so, yeah, like, the Hunger Games movies are pretty close to the book. And so, yeah, this also was an orange color, probably to symbolize fire. Yeah. Okay, so there's also hair in the background, arrows. I used the similar idea here. You know, just the arrows all over the place. In the first calendar, and I used it here too. Switching some of the directions of the arrows. You know, alternating them, doing the alternate pattern. So when it's up on, when the arrow is facing one direction on this one, it's facing the opposite on this one. But I made the shafts a little more thick. I don't know if that was a good idea. But I also tried to add stuff that looked like feathers on it. So yeah, there's sort of just like shapes that are meant to look like feathers. They probably don't succeed that well. But, you know, and they're a little uneven on where they're placed. But, you know, there's hopefully going to be another Hunger Games soon. So, maybe I'll get another chance on that. There's also silver tips on the arrows. The heads are silver, which they're on both of them, because, you know, arrowheads just happen to be that color. And so, yeah, here in the center is a picture of, it's a movie poster, and this is actually also the movie case, sort of. It's a picture of Katniss, and she's about to shoot her arrow, at something. You know, she doesn't like the bad guys, I guess. Here is Katniss and Peeta on a train, and they're just talking, like, you know, Peeta likes orange, not like Effie's hair, though. Here is in the middle of the night. They're running from some fog, and it's not safe fog, so you probably don't want to get around that fog. Stay away. It's not worth it. Okay, so here is a picture of Katniss, Peeta. Wait, Peeta? That looks like Peeta, I think. Beetee, I think, Joanna, and Finnick all standing, planning their next thing, because they are sort of teammates. Here is Katniss and Peeta. They are, like, you know, pretending to be in love. Or are they in love? You'll just have to find out. And they're in front of a camera outside of their home. They're being recorded live for everybody to see them. And they're about to begin their tour. Here is, Beetee, Katniss, and Joanna. They're like, and Finnick's in the background. Hardly visible. But, you know, they're like planning, they're on some sort of thing near the cornucopia, I guess, figuring stuff out. Here is the Chariots of Fire. And no, it's not the movie Chariots of Fire, but, you know, Peeta and Katniss are in their fiery outfits, and they're traveling on their way to the Capitol grounds, and this scene is followed by a not good scene. But, you know, and this is the girl on fire, and Peeta is totally ignored when that comes to it. Here is the clock spinning. Now, I'm not going to say what that means, but a clock spinning. Here is Peeta, Katniss, and Effie. This is when, you know, they're being, when the next Hunger Games is being selected. I hope that wasn't a spoiler. When a second Hunger Games is being selected, you know, Effie's losing her 2 winners from last time. It's just not good. Those are her star winners and everything. And here is Katniss walking away from her boyfriend, Gale. And, you know, they are hunting in the woods and everything. Here is some claw picking up a fallen contestant, or something similar. A wounded contestant. Yeah. They're not in good shape right now. Here is Katniss ready to fight Finnick. And because they're enemies at this point. This is either before or after the other scenes. You'll have to find out. Here is Katniss training, and they've updated the technology, and so they now have holograms that they're fighting, and, you know, she fires an arrow, and it splits into millions and millions of pieces. Okay, so yeah, that was that. And so, let's say, the text font, like last one, is copperplate. It's the same text font. You can be happy about that. So yeah. Last month's theme was Captain America, the First Avenger. Now, this movie is about a guy named Captain America, aka Steve Rogers, and so yeah, if you want to go check that out, that would be a good calendar to check out. I'm gonna zoom in closer because this didn't go well. So yeah, it didn't center it like I thought it would, but yeah. Here is, on the 1st, the Guardians of the Galaxy was in theaters. This was August 1st, and this was a movie that, you know, it was another Marvel Cinematic Universe film. It was actually pretty interesting. My mom and my sister went to see it. My sister did not feel so happy about it, neither did my mom, but me and my brother saw it later, and then we both, well, I don't know what my brother thought about it, but I thought it was pretty good. Here is Sandra, somebody I know, returning from camp. Yeah, it's sort of a camp where she helps with, you know, people with autism and everything. Yeah, so it's good, I guess. She went to a camp. And on the 5th, Divergent and God's Not Dead on DVD. Now, Divergent is a movie similar to Hunger Games. It's also by a studio that they're sort of the same studio. So, yeah. God's Not Dead, I haven't seen that one either. Yeah, I haven't. I like the action films, and a lot of the Christian films are unfortunately not action films, so I usually forget about them. And, you know, it has nothing to do about them being Christian films, it just has to do with them not being action films. Okay, on the 7th, I was meeting with Professor Flanagan. This was because I was preparing to take a public speaking class in college, and this was one professor, and, you know, I was just meeting with her to talk to her and figure out, you know, what she was like. And so she was a professor at Rocky Mountain College, the college I was planning on going to, which I also got to see if I can get some email from her. So yeah. So Professor Flanagan, you know, she was going to teach me public speaking. And here on the 8th, Ninja Turtles in theaters. That already? Okay. So Ninja Turtles was going to be in theaters, and it's a movie about ninjas and turtles. I wouldn't see this film for about over a year, but, you know, I put it on my calendar. So, yeah. And on the 11th was the State Fair, and I might as well mention this day. I didn't know it at this day, but, you know, I didn't find out until the next day, but we went to the State Fair. I went on that horrid drop tower just so I can relate with my movie character that I'm going to have plummeted off of cliffs and everything sometimes. But, you know, it wasn't until the 12th that I went to the library and figured out a sad truth. That this was the day that Robin Williams didn't make it. And so, I didn't know about it, but yeah, I had recently watched Mork and Mindy, you know, but, so recently we watched Mork and Mindy. Only the first episode we saw was very funny, but, you know, it was sort of sad that Robin Williams was no more. And so, yeah, but we had a good time at the State Fair anyway, but, you know, so we went to the State Fair, got on some drop towers. You know, it was like awesome. You know, I didn't like the drop tower, but, you know, there was a Moby one, you know, like Moby Dick, like the character, the whale. It was like a ride that would spin you around, and, you know, it was pretty cool. So yeah, this month is actually a very full month. And then here I also had a meeting with Professor McKenzie. Now, she was going to be my English teacher in college. And so, yeah, that's why I'm checking my email. I'm wondering if the class has any syllabus so I can work on transferring to LACC, because, you know, they want to see my syllabus and I have no idea where to find it. But I need a syllabus to show them so I can say that I've done the same English requirements that they require. And here on the 19th, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 on DVD. This one was actually better than the first Amazing Spider-Man, I guess. But it wasn't something that I was a huge fan of. I like Tobey Maguire better. Honestly, we need to get a team together so we can combine Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. Also, they can get together and do a Spider-Verse movie. Because Spider-Verse is a real thing in the comics, and I thought of that before I even heard of the Spider-Verse. And we need to get that team together and get that pitched to Marvel. I don't know how we're going to do it, but, you know, we gotta we gotta get this going, because that would be awesome. I haven't read the Spider-Verse, but I really want to. I just don't know how I'm going to get to, because, you know, it's really expensive to buy the comic books. But, you know, it would really be great. And so nobody's probably watching this calendar, but if anybody does, that would also be great if, like, there was a high demand for it. So if anybody comes back and watches it. Okay, and here on the 21st, I started college. Okay, so this was more of an orientation day and everything. And yeah, they had orientation, and that also reminds me of next week. But, you know, I was getting ready for college, and I was going to be able to do my first college day. And this was orientation. They had a lot of cool activities, and then they introduced us. I sort of miss college. So yeah. On the 25th was Jasper Day. Now, Jasper is a sweet cat, and today he was owned for who knows how long. I've sort of forgotten. 2009, we've had him for 2 years. So this is basically 5 years later. So he was 7. Yeah, I think he's 7. So yeah, we've had him for a very long time. And he's a sweet cat. And nobody likes him but me. Maybe my sister likes him. My sisters like him, but I'm the only one who loves him, I guess. Well, sort of. Maybe they love him too. But, you know, they're not too enthusiastic. And also, oh yeah, because, you know, I'm gonna mention this later. But on the 26th, Infinity Ring 8 in stores. And so, yeah, Infinity Ring was a book series, and that was the last book, and I would read it in college. And so, yeah. Let's see. So, yeah, there's not much more to talk about. I might as well finish talking about the month. But this was August 2014. It was ending the summer of 2014. But me and my mom, I didn't mention this earlier, but, you know, we had bikes, and, you know, we would ride into Billings, like, a lot together. We would ride in to eat at Subway and do stuff in town, you know, meet with professors. It was really great to meet with my mom. I mean, me and my mom riding our bikes into Billings, which was about 15 miles. It was great experiences. I remember, I forgot this last month, but, you know, I mentioned it during Planet of the Apes time. I mean, I should have, but, like, we saw Planet of the Apes at a pita place, a trailer for it, and so, you know, we were just pretty excited to, you know, ride our bikes into Billings. We did that a lot. I also played this one Nancy Drew game, but I'm not sure when I finished. It was called Shadow at the Water's Edge. and I have it on my computer, but I'm afraid to open it up because it might interrupt the game. But it takes place in Japan. That was sort of because, you know, I really enjoyed Swords of Power. And also, oh, I forgot to put this on my calendar, but at the beginning of the month of May, I think I finished my movie script for Hands Up, and so now I was working on Swords of Power 2 while playing a Japanese-style computer game. So, yeah, this had been a great summer, and yeah, that's what I had to say about the summer. But, you know, it was time for the end of the month, and so next month's theme would be Delete Object, BAM! Inception! So, if you want to check out that calendar, it will hopefully be soon, and that was my August 2014 calendar. Thanks for the calendar watching time, or whatever. And bye. I hope it's not a cliche to say thanks for watching, because I know other channels do it, or at least one other channel. And so this is extending way longer than need to be. And I hope I didn't take that line from them, because I hope it's like a very common thing to say from every channel. But yeah, bye!
Some saw the sun, some saw the smoke, some heard the gun, some bent the bow, sometimes the wire was tense for the note. We're caught in the fire. Say oh, we're about to explode. Carry your word. Some